Hello! I think this little batch of comics on my bookshelf tour will give you the range of me, as such as it is, my variety of interests. Well, one interest over here and then other interests. So yeah, let's start off with Sarah Levitt, Agnes Murderess, which I have not actually read yet, which is about it's a fictionalized account of a woman in the Caribou, British Columbia, who perhaps was a murderess. In the Caribou, there are whispers of Agnes McVie, a roadhouse owner, madam, and serial killer from the gold rush era. It is said that she murdered over 50 people, stealing their gold and burning their bodies in the fireplace, but evidence that she existed is scant. The first written record of Agnes did not appear until the 1970s when an amateur historian self-published a guide to buried treasure in British Columbia. Still, whispers from the past can reveal truths about the bloodiest of legends. So yeah. I bought this because I went to a reading of hers, part of the oh God, I can't even remember what it was, Festival of Authors or something like that, because I read her first one of her first thing, which was called Tangles, story of Alzheimer's, My Mother and Me, which was kind of one of autobiographical work about her talking about her mother, uh, you know, being diagnosed with, and then kind of and going through the stages of the disease of Alzheimer's and how that affected her mother, herself, her family. Um, and yeah, that was a really good book. She is again one of these artists who is using a fairly crude style, or what I guess would be considered crude, but is, it's one of these things of able to use just sort of the simplest of markings, but still kind of convey a lot of complexity and depth, which, and just because the artist's artistic style is on the simple side doesn't mean the storytelling is on the simple side. At least that was my experience with her book Tangles. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Which is probably why every once in a while I get delusions of, oh, maybe I could do cartoons. I could make my own comics, and I have made my very own crude comics, though not with the skill and depth of storytelling of someone like Sarah Levitt. But yeah, I pick up books like this, especially I love the old ones. How to Draw Cartoons, I think it's John Hamm, Jack Ham, Jack Ham, and very much kind of old style kind of comics with surprise, sorrow, worrying, laughing. Look at that face there, laughing, and tongues. Um, just like all the very kind of very nuts and bolts, which if I was to kind of like do anything like this, that's probably what I would be going for, is nuts and bolts, even more nuts and bolts than Jack Ham, who's probably a very accomplished actual artist. But that, that gives me vague thoughts of doing that at some point, which probably means I will never do it. I'm probably more liable to be writing terrible short stories than I am to me making comics. But you never know. All right, so let's do one more on the actual good side of my comics, which is Rob Espinoza's The Courageous Princess, which I've shown him before on my channel. The battle girls being kind of on the more cheesecake side. This is more kind of like a kind of a YA book. Once upon a time, a greedy dragon kidnapped a beloved princess. But if you think she just waited around for some charming prince to rescue her, then you're in for a surprise. Princess Mabel Rose may not be the fairest in the land, but she has enough brains and bravery to fend for herself in a fantasy world of danger and adventure, from a mighty dragon with an army of trolls to a tyrant tiger king. Mabel Rose meets each challenge with courage and pluck, her bravery winning her the help and friendship of many people, creatures, and magical beings she encounters in her quest to return home. and this indeed was very much kind of a critical darling, a just a really lovely, like, just, speaking of somebody who has artistic chops, um, there's somebody who can lay out a page and actually do it in such a way that really, well, that's the beginning, so I'm not giving you spoilers there. There's probably mom and dad. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful, heartwarming comic. All right, then let's screech. We'll start out with a DVD I have of Iki Tusen, which is it's battle girls in school, busty Japanese girls in school fighting each other, very violent, with a lot of their clothing getting ripped off in the process. Definitely very cheesecakey, very cheesecakey. For some reason, I just have the DVD. I don't think I have the actual comics anymore. I might have actually gotten rid of them. Hooray for me, I guess. So, and then we get to definitely this is the western bit of um, of that, which is Empowered, is Adam Warren's Empowered, which is all about a female superhero. She's sort of a sad sack, but the problem is that the more her outfit gets torn, the weaker she gets. But that it's a power suit. What does it say? Not only is costume crime fighter Empowered saddled with a less than ideal superhero name, she wears a skin-tight and cruelly revealing supersuit that only magnifies her body image insecurities. Worse yet, the suit's unreliable powers are prone to failure, repeatedly leaving her in appallingly distressing situations, giving her a shameful reputation as the lamest cape in Masks and Tights Adventure, and giving Adam Warren plenty of chances to get kind of do bondage stuff where she gets tied up. Yes, parental advisement, but yes, there she is with her super clingy little outfit that shows off her big ass and all that. But he has kind of a very really cool manga style. But yes, there's bondage, big, just kind of just the very cheeky, highly comedic book of thing, with lots of just sort of kind of little soap opera stories when she's not getting terribly roughed up by evil supervillains. Yeah, they are complete cheesecake, complete. Here, let's see if I can flip open some of these. There you have with the little maid superhero guy who little upskirt action for the maid superhero guy showing off his codpiece. It's yeah, and at the beginning we'll have a little kind of a little. These are the people in the comic. Hi, welcome to the recap page. Okay, to start off, my name is, well, Empowered. See? Yeah, I know, it's kind of goofy. I'm literally often struggling superheroine with a really fragile supersuit, even more fragile self-esteem. This is my lover, Thug Boy, formerly Witless Minion. Yeah, her Thug Boy was just was one of the villains of thugs, but now kind of a supportive boyfriend. Ninjet, hard drinking ninja, and this is my very best friend. The caged demon wolf, an eldritch star spawn imprisoned inside a power draining alien bondage gear. And this is the cosmic being who dwells atop my coffee table. And then there's the super honeys. These are my so-called teammates who mostly treat me like crap, and especially the witch in the far right, Boo Hiss, Sista Spooky, who really always sabotages her and just makes her feel even worse about herself. So yes, those are my. So we have the two sides. We have my kind of the Agnes murderous, courageous princess, kind of literary, kind of wholesome adventure side, and then we have the super cheesecake, super, yeah, sex obsessed side of my interests, which are there. It's one of those things with books. I think it's less apparent what how much of a perv I am, um, or I don't know, perv, but you know that sexual side. It's like it gets left behind in a lot of my novel reading. It definitely comes out in my cartoon comic books. It's very much more, I guess, a primal, more immature. Is it an immature side? Is it just more, you know, that's just like kind of sensation side, sensationalist. I think of some of the pulp novels even the pulp novels I read aren't as highly kind of sexualized, I guess, as a lot of the comics that I read. Um, yeah. So there's another slightly too TMI comic book bookshelf tour for you for today. All right, more videos later.